Have you ever wondered why your inexpensive clothes from SHEIN seem too good to be true? Perhaps you've noticed something amiss, a nagging feeling that there is more to this story than meets the eye. Consider this: the allure of low prices, the constant influx of new designs, but at what cost? Could it be that these deals are cloaked in unethical labor practices, compromised product quality, and environmental disregard? Let's dive into the hidden world behind those seemingly perfect deals. A fast fashion giant has rapidly grown, capturing the wallets of millions with its affordable and trendy offerings. So, what's the secret to their meteoric rise? SHEIN has taken the world by storm, especially among the younger generation, transforming the fashion industry with its unique business model, a model that's all about speed and affordability. The company is known for its ability to churn out thousands of new designs each week, keeping up with the rapidly changing tastes and trends of its young consumers. Imagine this: you're scrolling through the SHEIN app, and you find a dress that perfectly captures the latest trends. You check the price tag, and it's unbelievably low. You think, how can they afford to sell it at such a low price? Well, that's the SHEIN phenomenon. Their business model revolves around offering trendy, low-cost items. They've mastered the art of fast fashion, leveraging big data and artificial intelligence to predict fashion trends and preferences. This allows them to produce only what's in demand, minimizing waste and maximizing profits. But it's not just about the products. SHEIN has also mastered the art of digital marketing. They've tapped into the power of social media influencers, leveraging their reach to spread the word about their brand. This has helped them establish a strong online presence and connect with their target audience on a deeper level. The result? A global brand that's become a household name among young consumers. A brand that's managed to make fashion affordable and accessible to all. But with all this success, one can't help but wonder, is there a catch? While SHEIN's rise to fame has been nothing short of extraordinary, it does beg the question, what's the real cost of these low prices? Are they too good to be true? Or is there a darker side to this fast fashion phenomenon? But what's the real cost behind these low prices? It n'est frosh. Behind the glitz and glamour of fast fashion, there's a darker reality. A reality that's not as glossy as the ads and sale banners might have you believe. This is a world where the incessant demand for new, cheap clothing has consequences that reach far beyond our wardrobes. Let's start with the environment. Fast fashion is a voracious beast that gobbles up resources at an alarming rate. The production of these trendy, disposable clothes requires billions of gallons of water, not to mention the vast amounts of energy consumed in manufacturing and shipping. Then there's the pollution. The dyeing and treatment of textiles release harmful chemicals into our rivers and air, creating a toxic cocktail that's slowly poisoning our planet. But the environmental impact is just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface, there's a world of unethical labor practices. From sweatshops to child labor, fast fashion brands often exploit vulnerable workers in their relentless pursuit of profit. Many of these workers toil in unsafe conditions for meager wages, trapped in a cycle of poverty while the fashion industry rakes in billions. And what happens when the season's trends change? When the clothes that were once the height of fashion become yesterday's news, they are discarded, adding to the mountains of textile waste that already clog our landfills. Every year, millions of unsold or unwanted garments are dumped, creating an environmental crisis of epic proportions. This is the dark underbelly of fast fashion. It's a system that values speed and profit over sustainability and human rights. A system that encourages us to buy more, wear less, and discard without thought. And SHEIN, one of the biggest players in this industry, is no exception to these practices. SHEIN's practices have raised several red flags, drawing criticism and concern. Let's delve into the heart of the matter, the specific issues that have surfaced with SHEIN. The first concern lies in the realm of labor practices. Like many other fast fashion giants, SHEIN's production process is shrouded in secrecy. Reports suggest that the company relies on low-wage labor, often in countries where workers' rights are not adequately protected. The question then arises, are the people creating these trendy pieces being treated fairly? Are they being paid a living wage? Or is the low price tag of SHEIN's products a reflection of the exploitation of its workers? The next issue is the quality of SHEIN's products. The company has been hit with numerous complaints about poor quality, with many customers taking to social media to share their disappointment. Clothes arrive with loose threads, uneven seams, and sometimes they don't match the online description at all. The materials used are often cheap and non-durable, leading to a short lifespan for these items. This, in turn, contributes to a throwaway culture, where clothes are worn a few times before being discarded. Now, let's talk about the environment. The fashion industry is one of the major polluters globally, and fast fashion is a significant contributor to this problem. SHEIN's business model, which thrives on rapid turnover of styles, exacerbates this issue. The production of each garment requires vast amounts of water and energy, and the use of non-biodegradable materials means that discarded clothes end up in landfills, causing significant environmental harm. How has SHEIN responded to these criticisms? Well, their response has been, for lack of a better word, lackluster. The company has made vague promises about improving labor conditions and reducing environmental impact, but concrete action plans are notably absent. There seems to be a disconnect between their words and their actions, raising questions about the company's commitment to addressing these issues. These concerns paint a grim picture, one that stands in stark contrast to the bright, trendy image that SHEIN projects. The company's practices raise questions about the true cost of fast fashion, a cost that is not reflected in the price tag of the clothes. The convenience and affordability of SHEIN's products come at a high price, a price paid by underpaid workers, disappointed customers, and our already strained environment. So, is the allure of cheap, trendy clothes worth the hidden costs? As we move forward, this is a question we must grapple with, a question that forces us to examine our own consumption habits and their impact on the world around us. It's time to reflect on what this all means for us as consumers. As we've journeyed through the SHEIN phenomenon, we've seen the allure of fast fashion and its seemingly irresistible, trendy garments at unbeatably low prices. But we've also uncovered the darker side, a world of unsustainable practices, exploitation, and environmental damage. Let's pause a moment and take stock of what we've learned. Fast fashion, embodied by brands like SHEIN, operates on a business model that thrives on constant consumption. It's a model that pushes us to buy more, wear less, and discard quickly. But the true cost of this model is far from the price tag on that trendy blouse or pair of jeans. Behind every bargain, there's a story. Often, it's a story of garment workers toiling in unsafe conditions for meager wages. It's a story of our planet, suffering under the weight of waste and pollution. It's a story of a fashion industry that's become one of the major contributors to global carbon emissions. And yet, we, as consumers, hold a significant amount of power. Our buying decisions can make a difference. It's about making conscious choices, about prioritizing quality over quantity, sustainability over instant gratification. It's about understanding that every purchase we make is a vote for the kind of world we want to live in. We can choose to support brands that prioritize ethical practices and sustainability. We can choose to buy less, but better. We can choose to reuse, recycle, and repurpose to give our clothes a longer life. We can choose to demand transparency from brands, to know where our clothes come from, who makes them, and under what conditions. In the end, it's not just about fashion. It's about our planet, our future, and our collective responsibility. It's about rethinking our consumption habits, questioning the status quo, and challenging the norms of the fashion industry. It's a complex problem, without a doubt. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, and change won't happen overnight. But every journey begins with a single step, and as consumers, we can take that step. Next time you're about to click Add to Cart, consider the true cost of that bargain.